I.S.U.P.K. Oh, and West. Babylon is falling to rise no more again. Babylon is falling. Freedom is here, my friend, not just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are a nation. But just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. I just part of the nation. Daniel get a vision, him see the black Christ, it wasn't a white depiction. No allegiance to Rome nor its regions, come out them religion if you want be a free man. Cause the deacons them full of demons, same situation with Rasta with Islam. Only beacon of hope for your lean and I.S.U.P.K and the General YAHANNA. Every fowl of the ear, every beast of the field, every creeping thing we creep on land, every mouth of the clear, loud and clear. Yeah, our shy Mashiach is a black man who have ear, let him hear. Time to prepare, spiritually separate from Babylon. We no weak, we no fear, we no tear. Gun Saddam, my bun, Batman are just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are a nation. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the nation, send evils and curses on the horse sitting on the beast and all churches. America fall, them deserve it. Rome get defeat, history repeat, I know the first days. Hey, 400 years they work with, then desert with, then turn round and call we worthless. But now the COVID lurking, them hurting, and them the doctors and nurses. Hey, one day to a building of return after the long journey. No care much money you a earn if you still want Babylon burn. One day to a building of return after the long journey. No care much money you a earn. Hey, I just part of the mission. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. No put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are a nation. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. I just part of the mission. Baby, no listen to no fake news, them can't. Could do all it out and them never feared yours. Notice say I just be a bad bitch I get forward from with you. But the one you have to be good girl then. Easy. She never did a pictures, I rate it. Never did a pictures, half naked. Me never did a piggy or be things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She never did a pictures, half naked. Never did a pictures, I rated. Me never did a piggy or be things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. I know every girl a white material. I know every girl forget the juice in my seed bag. I know every girl me trust to cook my food, nor boil my tea, not even put the milk in the cereal. Me like a catty when medieval, when no fi wash for cook fi clean and no fuss. When she hear me get a new girl, I know that me mean when me say me fight me demons. Multiple wife legally, no illegal. Yeah, straight, me don't crazy. I know every catty can be my first lady. I know every press plus body don't pay fi plus Tatiana no fit in a no Mercedes. When me say oh luxury dolly fi nurse baby, a trouble when luxury dolly turn old lady. So big up every girl we don't lazy. Your body big but I your mommy donate it. I rate it. Never did a fi dress half naked. Me never did a fi give her be things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She never did a fi dress half naked. Never did a fi dress I rated. Me never did a piggy or be things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She now wait pan money for reach her and donation. She make reach her man donation. 101 but he waste gal a tell her fi leave her man, but she stay strong. She know say them are no friends, them are haters. Them sleep with every man in a the acre. Can't get nobody fi stay long and want the advice for relation. Baby no listen to no fake news. Them can't keep a man cause them never stay true. Could do all it out and them never pay dues. Never shut them out and them wicked and cruel, eh? Bagaman a rush, but them just a get yours. Everything them have, them did a fear blows. Instagram live, them mute for the views. Baby, that I know you though. Sure, I rate it. Never did a pictures half naked. Me never did a figgy ratings halfway. That's why me give her ratings. She never did a features half naked. Never did a features rated. Me never did a figgy ratings halfway. That's why me give her ratings.
Yeah. You ready? Nah, I mean, is you ready? Somebody ready for war? TITHES. Lights is up. Wise man mad. They ready for war. Getting all blacks is a trooper. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. Gotta pick a side, no neutral. In the middle of a war as usual. Watch your back, they shoot. If your ops drop, better keep it moving. All we do is win, no losing. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. In the middle of a war as usual.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Shabbat to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, Lathan Bashim, Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. I'm priest and officer 500 Barak Yallah with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General YAHANNA, you understand? And these classes that are being taught damn near every day, right, depending on the zone that you're in, are probably the most important thing for you to attend in your life, right? Especially in these perilous times that we're in right now, right? To know how to go about changing your life, how to go about conducting yourself the right way. Because, listen, with all these talks of wars, rumors of wars, pestilences, plagues, famines, you understand, civil war, race war that's going on, you're going to want to be in these classes to gain that universal and practical knowledge that is only offered in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? In tonight's Brotherhood class, Salakia, the part 2 of last week's Brotherhood class, where we're seeing how to be righteously selfish and righteously selfless. So for those who attended last week's Brotherhood class last Thursday, how to be righteously selfish is to care about your own people. You understand? Not to pray for the whole world, not to pray for Palestine or Ukraine or Afghanistan. Pray for Mexico and Mexico only. Pray for Haiti and Haiti only. When I mean them only, I mean pray for the Israelites only. Pray for the 12 tribes of Israel who are ignorantly known today as so-called blacks, Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, descendant of the slave trade in the Americas and the Caribbeans on their father's side, right? It's really important. You understand? And how to be righteously selfless. Well, don't be thinking that because you have the truth, you're saved and, so be it. F the rest. Be as selfless as Christ was. Right? We're going to get into that precept again, as we seen last week to start with, where Christ was so selfless that he gave his own life. He died for us. He died for a whole nation. He died, you understand, so that you could be forgiven for being a homosexual. He died so that you could be forgiven for being a whore, for being a junkie. You understand? He died so that you could be forgiven for being a serial killer. You understand? Christ was selfless. Christ could have said, you know what? I never sinned. I'm saved. The hell with y'all Negroes. Christ was selfless. This is righteous selflessness. Unlike what our oppressor is teaching us, that to be selfless, you have to love everybody. Well, Canada, was it last month, a month ago, Canada celebrated Thanksgiving. The U.S. is about to celebrate Thanksgiving. So the so-called selflessness that your oppressor teaches you, where you need to love everybody and not yourself, is really hypocritical because they're celebrating the genocide of the Native American Indians. What is it, next week? And the next day they have Native Heritage Month or some shit like that. Salakia. You understand? Should show you that everything you learn from your oppressor is how to be a hypocrite. Being selfless in the eyes of your oppressor is just really loving them. When you're selfless in the way your oppressor teaches you to be selfless, you're going to love the oppressor. But here's the thing, right? You, Negro, Latino, and Native American, as the oppressed. Okay, that's what I think. Here's the thing, right? You cannot love something without hating another. Loving the oppressor, you will hate the oppressed. Because how can you love both when one is oppressing another? You understand? Shalom to everyone in the chat. Officer 5000 Madabar, Yabasha Shrakta, the one, what for tuning in. Adolphus, Yabasha Shrakta, right? All the zones tuning in. And here's the thing. We learn the wrong way from our oppressor how to be selfless and selfish, right? And today, really, we're going to go over a few precepts that we've seen last week and a perfect example on wicked selfishness in the nation. Besides the fact that we kept thinning and we kept turning our backs to the Most High because we were literally selfish, instead of obeying, we just wanted to follow the other nations. Why? Because it felt good to get high. Why? Because it felt good to be like the other nation, to worship, to be part of the crew of the cool kids. Who are the cool kids at the time? Is the other nation, because everyone wants to be like the other nations. Everyone wants to be white today. Everyone wants to worship a rock. You understand? A lot of y'all, listen, I know some people in the world, right? They were just becoming Muslim because the Muslims have some type of party where they give money. They didn't give a damn about Islam. Real Muslims don't give a damn about Islam. Here's a fun fact. Real Muslims only joined Muhammad. Why? Because they got to take part of the pillaging, and they got to sleep with women. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand? That's it. They didn't give a damn about. They didn't even give a damn about worshiping a rock. Really, it was all for the money. It's all for the money and just for the fun of it. Nowadays, it's the fastest growing religion, and everybody wants to be a Muslim. It's cool to say you're a Muslim and you skip lunch for 40 days. It's like a badge of honor. When in reality, our brothers and sisters, you understand, during the Day of Atonement, we fast for a whole 24 hour. No, what is 40 days of skipping lunch? We always skip lunch, damn near 365 days a year. What is 40 days? You understand? But let's go back to the topic where I'm going to show you where Christ is the example of selflessness, right? And then I'm going to show you also the example of selfishness. Salakia. Let's go into John chapter 15, yeah? Anyone have any question or comments, just put it in the chat. It will be a short class. Salakia. The white man is the devil. Got the lightning of the Most High slaving like a slave. Yeah. This is why we start class a bit late. And we're not going to impede on General Mahaiman's class. Make sure y'all tune in tonight. So John chapter 15. We'll start at verse 12. I'm going to share my screen. Salakia, sir. Khan, give me 1 second. I'm going to send you the link right now, as a matter of fact, through Messenger. I don't want. Bear with me, Baba Kusha. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm looking for Officer Madabar. I type in Messenger. That's crazy. Salakia. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in the chat, other one, and just click it. I'm gonna just let you in. You understand? In the meantime, when we wait for Officer 5000 Madabar, let's get John chapter 15, verse 12. John 15 and 12 says what? This is Christ speaking. Said, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you." As we've seen already, damn near every Brotherhood class, we know that what is it to love one another? What is the love of the Most High? What is loving your neighbor? As we seen last week, understand the context of neighbor, right? Is an Israelite, whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament. You understand? The Old Testament, it tells you that neighbor is a fellow Israelite. The New Testament tells you that the neighbor is who Christ died for. And we know that Christ only died for the Israelites. That's in the book of Romans. You understand? And he's saying that we need to love each other just like he loved us. How bad did Christ love us? Well, he gave his life for us. You understand? We have Officer Madabar coming in and said, that's how much Christ loved us. Christ could have said, again, Christ could have said, the hell with it. I'm perfect. I have never sinned in my life. You understand? I don't have to suffer the judgment that you suffer because, you know, I'm good. Guess what? He didn't say that. Christ was not a selfish bastard like a lot of you are. You understand? Even y'all fake Israelites who think you have the truth, which you don't. Y'all are selfish because a lot of fake Israelites, what do they teach? Well, 2/3 are going to be done away with. So you know what? We're only going to select. We are selecting a few. You understand? They don't give a damn about the whole nation. They choose who to teach. Christ didn't tell Christ didn't tell his disciples to just pick and choose which Israelite to teach. He said, yes, just don't go see the Samaritans. We're going to go into that as well. Right? As a matter of fact, we're going to bring that up right now. And I'm going to answer the question in the chat. Let's go to Matthew real quick, chapter 10.
Shalom, YAHANNA.
Hey, shalom. So y'all watching Shabbat. I don't know what's going on. We don't see your camera for whatever reason.
No, I got the camera cut off. I got the flu right now, so you know I've been battling the flu, but I'm in here. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans to Canada for the first time. We grab this real quick. Matthew 10, verse 5. Obviously, sir, you know, whenever you want to chime in, feel free to do so. I don't want. I ain't no sweat.
Dominic said, where in Toronto you're from? We are in Toronto. We are in Montreal. We are in Windsor. Just send an email to isupkcanada@gmail.com or message us on any social media platform, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I.S.U.P.K Canada or I.S.U.P.K Toronto. We'll get with you. As a matter of fact, let me ask you a question before you do that. What is your ethnical background or identity on your father's side? Right? Because it's important. Now let's get back to it. Christ did not tell the disciples pick and choose which Israelites to teach, just like the fake Israelites are doing today. What did he say? Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commended them, saying, he gave them an order. And what did they say? They said, Canada one can. Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Again, we're going to make a whole Brotherhood class about on the context of Gentile when he's speaking of it, right? You need to understand who Christ was sending disciples to. You understand? And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Why? Because even though we dwelt in Samaria at some point, you need to understand that because we sinned, good night, that's after the split of the kingdom. But because we sinned, you understand? What happened is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the king of Assyria. You can read the whole story in the book of 2 Kings chapter 17. The king of Assyria took us captives. Then, you know, we turned our back on the slave master, just doing whatever we wanted to do to serve another slave master. And he removed us from Samaria. So we were not the inhabitants of Samaria anymore. You understand? We were replaced by all sorts of heathens. Makes you understand what? Christ is telling right now the disciples not to go see heathens. Don't bother with the heathens. That woman that Samaritan woman at the well was not a sister. She was a heathen. We'll make a whole class about them. So you can understand that even though she said our father Abraham, right? I'm just paraphrasing. That doesn't mean that she was a sister. She was taught by Israelites. And again, as a matter of fact, that was going to be next week's Brotherhood class. You understand? The point is, Christ sent the 12 not to heathens. Let's go to verse 6. Matthew 10:6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Christ did not pick and choose which Israelites he was saying the 12 to. No, he said, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Every single Israelite is to be taught. We're not going to select, I'm not going to select Benjamites. I'm not going to select French Benjamites specifically. You understand? I'm here for all the 12 tribes. Christ died for all the tribes, not just one. Christ didn't die for just Judah because he was a Judite. Christ was selfless. He gave his life for a whole nation. And that's how selfless you need. That's righteous selflessness. That's how selfless you need to be. You understand? Let's go back to John chapter 15, verse 12.
And Salakia too.
Okay, absolutely, sir.
This also shows that Christ was about separation.
Damn right.
Christ is what you would call nowadays a racist.
Karawakan. Absolutely.
Christ was about his race of people. Christ was the one that was telling us to come together and hold hands. Let's love everybody. He showed you in the scriptures when he said, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Karawakan, absolutely, sir. And I'm going to get that real quick to show that this is not only the selflessness of Christ, this is also the righteous selfishness of Christ. You understand? God is the final boss of racism. Christ is number 2. You understand? This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, and then I'm going to answer the question in the chat. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The Christian church tells you Christ loved the whole wide world. The Christian church tells you Christ loved every single human being on earth. Why is Christ saying in the Bible that he's only sent for the house of Israel? Someone must be lying. As Romans 1:25 said, they have changed the truth of God into a lie. Who did? Was it Christ or was it the church? Let it marinate. Let it sink and ask yourself that. Christ was absolutely a racist. And just like David, he hated what God hated with a perfect hatred. It has nothing to, and before people start their rhetoric about black and white, we don't care if you're white. God hated Bob Marley, and y'all consider him a black man. It's about the crimes your forefather committed. And it's not even about Caucasian people. He hates the Arabs as well. He hates the Africans. He hates the East Indians and the Chinese. God only loves the nation of Israel. Right. You understand?
And on top of that, you got people that hate Christ. You got people that hate the Most High. So what you call them?
Absolutely.
Do you get offended when they say they hate Christ, when they hate the Most High? But you get offended when we say the Most High and Christ only care about his people, 12 tribes of Israel.
Karawakan. You hate the truth because you hate Christ. You hate the truth because you hate God. That's really what it is. And the question in the chat, Dominic said, are gypsy people Israelites? If you're talking about the Gypsy King, the boxer that Deontay Wilder fought, he is not an Israelite. Gypsies are not Israelites. Gypsies is not even a nation.
Right.
Gypsies is like saying, are the Vikings Israelites or are pirates Israelites? Gypsies are not a nation. The real gypsies are not Israelites. The Roma people, they're not Israelites. That answers your question. Right. Now let's get back to it. Let's see how Christ loved us, because class is going to be short. We're going to see righteous, selflessness of Christ. Then I'm going to show you wicked selfishness that, you being selfish could cost the life of the whole entire nation. You understand? Go back. John chapter 15. Let's go to verse 13 now. Greater love had no man than this. There's no greater love than this when it comes to loving your own people, right? That a man lay down his life for his friends. It's as simple as that. And as we read last week, understand, you could do it physically. Listen, I'm ready to die for every single brother and sister in the UPK. And already died. The man that I was before the truth died already for every single brother and sister in the nation. You understand? Christ died for every single one of y'all. It didn't matter what sin you committed. Christ died for y'all. Christ didn't say, you know what? I'm picking and choosing what Christ did. Christ said he died. He died. Listen, no sweat. Christ died for you. And that's how much he loved us. This is the ultimate act of being selfless. But guess what? You want to be selfish and you don't want to hear about the truth because you want to be a selfish woman who don't want to share her man. Yeah, you're a selfish monster. You're selfish because you think it's hard to not eat pork. You just like the taste. Don't ask me how you like the taste. I never hate pork in my life, even before I was in the truth. You like the taste of pork. You like getting high. You like sleeping with whores. You know you're going to catch a disease, but you fall for your lust. And that's how selfish you are. You love white people and you hate your own. That's how selfish you are. You understand? You suffer, as we seen last week, you suffer from insanity, literally, where you cannot differentiate the reality from the fantasy. You rather live in a fantasy. Everybody, you all want to obtain the so-called American dream, to obtain to be able to live in the American dream. You have to be asleep. You don't want to admit that you're asleep. You're not quote unquote woke like all these junkies like to say. You understand? The point is, you have the wrong conception of what it is to be righteously selfless and righteously selfish. Because yes, you can be righteously selfish, as we just read. Christ only loves the Israelites. God is, go complain to God about him being righteously selfish. He said he says the other nation are nothing but spit. You understand? And dung to the earth. Dung is poop to the earth. Salakia. What did my brother Kodam likes to say? Sugar, honey, iced tea. That's what they say in the South. Salakia. That's the other nations. You understand? Let's go to verse 14.
Hey, Salakia too. That last word. What the last verse say?
Salakia, sir?
What that last verse say?
Oh, the sugar, honey, iced tea. Apparently that's shit.
No, the last verse. John.
Oh, the last verse. Salakia. I heard the last words. Salakia. John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
God, and this ain't talking about when you gang banging. Our brothers say they'll die for one another.
Damn right.
Like, this ain't talking about you laying your life on the line when brothers killing each other. This talking about a righteous cause. You'll die for this truth. Like, we go out here every weekend, any day of the week, speaking this truth. Anytime at camp, and we laying our life on the line for our brothers. Like, we could be murdered at camp just because somebody don't like what we say. It can happen. That's reality. But we willing to lay our life on the line for our brothers. That's why we go through this. And we willing to do that. But you got it.
That's powerful how, listen, at the end of the day, We know what can be the outcome. It's not going to stop us. Christ knew he was going to die. Christ knew he had a warrant. Christ knew he was going to be betrayed. And he still sacrificed himself. Understand? He still laid down his life for us. And that says a lot about you. Verse 14, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. What did he command us to do? To love each other, to lay down our life for our friends. He did it. Why can't you? Christ was just a man. You think Christ was not tempted? You understand? He lets you know that you could do it too. You won't because you're selfish. You won't because you like to get high. You won't because, you want to, how could I say it again? Damn, I forgot what was the word in English. You want to fall back into your depression. Listen, if you suffer from depression, seek counsel. Don't just cope with depression by drinking the whole bottle or smoking all, the drugs on the block. Even you suffering from depression, you're letting that demon win because you're selfish. You want someone to feel bad for you instead of fighting. Seek counsel. Seek help on how to fight your demons. Don't let them win. Don't be selfish. You understand? Let's go to Salakia. We're going to go to Romans chapter 9, verse 4 real quick. And then I'm going to show you in the Old Testament perfect example of selfishness that costed us a lot. Give me 1 second. Let's go to Romans 9. Going to go to verse, is it Romans 9 or am I mistaken? There's Romans 9, verse 4, but this is not the one I want.
And Salakia too, while you getting that, as far as that scripture that you got up when it say, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. This ain't talking about your Christian mind state. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna tell you go eat no goddamn pork.
Damn right.
We're not gonna tell you to hate one another. We're not gonna do like the Christian church. Your Christians will get this confused. Where it say, if you do whatsoever I command you, Christ is not gonna tell you to break the laws. He's not gonna tell you to do something that's against the laws.
Christians will tell you to eat. Christians will celebrate Thanksgiving next week. Talking about God loves everybody. You celebrating the genocide of a whole people.
Our whole family. They'll go and celebrate Christmas, New Year, every other so-called holiday coming up. Christ, that's not what Christ's talking about.
Damn right. That's
he command you to do this. Whatever I command you, it's always gonna be something lawful. It's not gonna be nothing that's against the laws.
Damn right. And that's perfect example of being wickedly selfish. Why? You're only celebrating Thanksgiving because, it makes you feel good. That's it. You don't like not one family member at the table. It's just to please your grandma because, your grandma she's a selfish bitch. Salaki.
Right.
Nobody celebrates Christmas because they believe in the birth of Christ, even though he was not born on the 25th of December. No, kids don't give a damn about Christmas. They could get gifts all throughout the year. One day specifically, or two, as a matter of fact, if you count their so-called birthday, it's not going to hurt them. You're not doing this for the kids. You're doing this because it makes you feel good. And you cause them to sin because it makes you feel good. Perfect example of wicked selfishness. What is it? Exodus 23:2, it says to not follow a multitude to do evil. Yeah, your kids to say, the hell, you know what? You want to punish me by taking away my Xbox because I don't want to celebrate Christmas? Take the Xbox. I'm gonna turn to an age where I can make my own money and buy me 10 Xbox. and I still will not come to Christmas.
Right.
You understand?
God.
That's the priest I was looking for. Acts chapter 5, verse 30. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. This is Christ who died for you right here. Christ was crucified, because he was not selfish. You understand?
And that's a lot.
Kind of what concept? Absolutely.
Like, what our people do during so-called Christmas? You hang up a goddamn tree.
Hey, SHALAM.
You hang up a tree. And like I brought out in our class last night, like most Negroes don't even have a goddamn chimney in the hood. So how Santa Claus coming through your goddamn chimney and we ain't got no chimney? What, he breaking in your house?
Yeah, that's some nigga shit. It's a lot.
Right. He breaking in your house and then you give him the milk and cookies.
You're sacrificing your children. Good night. I'm gonna need to make a whole class about that. Salaki, I don't want. You're sacrificing your children to Molech. Why? Just so you could be happy. That night you're gonna kiss a random person under the mistletoe. You understand? You're gonna be a whore for the night. You're gonna be drunk. You're gonna get arrested. Your children are not gonna be able to see you any Christmas for the next couple of years. There goes Christmas. A couple of years ago, a venomous snake was found into a Christmas tree. Do you know how many house fires starts because y'all just want to be selfish and celebrate Christmas? Lord be with all the families who fire is going to start because they put the lights are making the tree catch on fire.
And on top of that, you giving praise to your oppressor when you didn't work all year, sacrifice all your money, your rent and everything for some presents that you can give throughout the year.
Damn right. Good night. There you go. So like, for time's sake, we're going to go into the example of selfishness that can cost the life of the people. And this is, you need to understand that the Bible is also our historical record where we need to learn from the mistakes of our forefathers. You understand? Learning from these mistakes is making us not repeat these mistakes. Not be selfish just because, listen, you stealing a cookie, and that's the perfect example. You stealing a cookie could cost a lot to your people, not just to you. You're not just a thief at this point, right? Let's go into, I think you know exactly where I'm going on, especially with that metaphor I just said, or analogy, and go into the book of Joshua, chapter 6. For time's sake, we're going to go to verse 27. Yeah, we're going to go to verse 27 for time's sake, yeah? Let me share my screen. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verse 27. Understand the context of this, right? This is a time where, when the Most High said, just like in Deuteronomy chapter 7, where he said, we're going to go into a certain land where heathens are already dwelling, where he's going to give the heathens into our hands. We're going to remove them. We're going to go to war with them. The Most High, when we obey, he has our back. And when we disobey, every single time we disobey, nations overthrew us. Just like I mentioned in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, with the Assyrians, right? But you're going to see a perfect example of wicked selfishness that could have cost us the war. It was damn near costing us the war, right? So for time's sake, we're just going to start at verse 27. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verse 27. It says, so the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. Meaning what? The Lord was with Joshua. He loved Joshua. Joshua was a man of God. He obeyed Joshua, and the Lord had his back. You understand? The Lord was not let any harm happen to Joshua. His fame was noised throughout the whole country. Everybody knew about Joshua. Just like in the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. All these nations know who we are. They know that if we sin against the Most High doesn't have our back. If we don't sin against the Most High, we obey, they can harm us. They cannot pluck one hair from your braided hair. Literally, they cannot pluck a hair from a braid. Do you know how hard it is to pluck a hair from a braid? They can't do that. They can't touch you. They cannot breathe the same air you're breathing. They can't come too close if the Lord has your back. The Lord was with Joshua. Let's go to chapter 7, start at verse 1. Joshua chapter 7, verse 1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing. What is a trespass? When we commit a trespass, a transgression, this is where we start sinning. This is where we're making a mistake. Like Judith 5 and 20, this is where we make an error. We don't walk on the straight path no more, right? We stray away. The children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing. Why? Because Joshua was not alone. He was fighting a war, and someone you're going to see in Salakia, for lack of better terms in English, in his camp, you're going to see what he did. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. So Achan, right, an Israelite, a brother, Judite brother, he stole something. You're going to see what he stole. It doesn't matter what he stole, really. He's just going to give you for context so you can understand what happened. He stole something. Verse 2. And Joshua sent men to from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the man went up and viewed Ai. They were surveying the spot. You understand? We call it recon. Joshua chapter 7, verse 3. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000-3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. He said, listen, y'all, you know, I didn't want to say. He said, go deal with that Ai region or city, right? But don't send all the men. Don't send all the men. But let's see what happened, because remember what happened in verse 1. The brother Achan stole something, and let's see how it affected everybody else, even though he the one who committed the sin. Verse 4. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. So Joshua, a man who the Lord was with, right, that nobody could touch because the Lord was with him, and his men, the men that he's leading. He sent some men to do some recon, and to, just like the Most High said, he would deliver the heathens into our hands, and would dwell in those lands. Well, guess what? It didn't go as planned now. The men that he sent had to run away from the heathens in Ai. Clearly, the Lord was not with them for some reason. Let's keep reading. Joshua 7 and 5. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, and they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim. They killed 36 brothers out of all the men that Joshua sent to take over Ai. 36. If the Most High was with Joshua, why did they kill the 36 men? That is the question, right? And smote them in the going down, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. Why? Because, you know, they felt weak. The heart is not talking about, again, you need to understand the context. The heart is not talking about what's pumping blood in your chest cavity. It's talking about their spirit. Their spirit is crumbling down because now The untouchable can be touched. So like it, you're not undefeatable anymore. You understand? You're starting to catch an L and you don't understand why. You want a winning streak out of nowhere, you're catching L's. And the men don't understand what's going on. Joshua, you're going to see that he himself doesn't understand what's going on. Verse 6. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide. He and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. He's going to inquire to the Lord about what is going on. Why are we catching L's? Why are we losing the fight? Joshua chapter 7, verse 7. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God. Joshua is praying to the Lord like, yo, what's going on? You understand? Wherefore had thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Joshua is inquiring because he knows the Lord had his back. He knows, the Lord is watching over them, protecting them. But now he's asking to the Lord, like, what's going on? If you have our back, why are you sending us into the hand of the heathen so that they could kill us? You understand? He's not asking the Lord in a sense where, oh, you're setting me up, but he's not understanding, like, why is the Lord not protecting us anymore? Are we not in your favor? What's going on? Let's keep reading. Let's see what happened. Let's see the reason why they started to lose the war. Would to go, God, we had been content and dwelt on the other side of the Jordan. Right? Verse 8. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turned their backs before the enemies? Mind you now, as we read in Joshua chapter 6, verse 27, not only the Lord is with Joshua, but everybody knows about this. All the heathens that we're going against, they know that the Most High is protecting the Israelites. The Most High is protecting us. So regardless, we're not here to lose. We're here to take over because the Lord told us to take over. You understand? But what shall Joshua say now? Was it just a rumor? Was it just a fluke? How he's going to explain to any heathen that us Israelites are running, not towards the heathen, but running away from them, turning their backs before their enemies, fleeing from them. That's what turning their back before their enemy means, because we're fleeing from them. Why? Because they're destroying us. They're killing us. Verse 9, for the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it and shall environ us round. Every heathen around about is going to hear that the Israelites are finally turning their backs and like scared dogs ducking their tails. So now it's time to strike them. They're going to take advantage of that. And Joshua's asking the Lord, what's going on? You've been having our backs for so long, but what should we say now that everyone is going to witness the Israelites running away and being weak? The Canaanites, who are Africans, will take advantage of that. And they're going to environ us, meaning like, what's the term in English again? Good night. Surround us, right? They shall hear of it. They're going to surround us. And then what? And cut off our name from the earth. They're going to decimate us because you don't have our backs anymore. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? You understand? The Lord, the God of the children of Israel, right? What are the heathens going to say about the God of the children of Israel? Isn't he the God that, destroyed the Egyptians? Isn't he the so-called Almighty, the Most High? Now, Joshua he's not asking this in a disrespectful way, but, it's like we have a reputation. The Most High has his reputation, and Joshua is asking the Lord, like, what are they going to say about you now? What are they gonna do to us now that they've seen us run away? And what are they going to say about you? Verse 10. And the Lord said unto Joshua, get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? God said, get up. That's it. God said, yeah, listen, fix your face. You understand? He's gonna talk, man. He's gonna talk like a real man to Joshua, like, yo, fix your face and let me tell you what's going on. Right? Verse 11, the Most High cut to the chase. Israel had sinned, and they also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. Again, if you remember what we read in verse 1, we committed a trespass because Achan, a Judite brother, stole something. You understand? And all we need to do is to follow the commandments. Thou shalt not steal is included. Salakia. You should not be a thief. It don't matter who you're stealing from. You should not steal. Unless, and you're gonna see that the Most High is gonna explain to Joshua, this is the only reason why I don't back you guys up, because someone sinned, and we can't let it slide. Let's keep reading. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. You're trying to make it seem like, okay, let's say you have jewelry, or let's say you have something, right? And you steal a similar item, and you say, well, I already had this. See, I have a collection of watches. And you make it seem like the watch that you just stole was already part of the collection. Come to find out, you just added it to the collection in the wickedest way possible. But guess what? The Most High sees everything. You can't hide anything from God. You understand? But keep in mind this. Again, it keeps saying Israel had sinned. Israel had sinned as if the whole nation sinned. One man sinned, and we're all held accountable. One man was wickedly selfish. Now everyone's dying because of him. You understand? What is it in the book of Peter's? I forgot, I'm just paraphrasing. Right? You need to count the cost of building a tower. Literally, count the cost of all your actions. Right? One man was the face of the civil rights movements. And now we all want to join white people and praise him for making us want to join white people. Count the ramifications of your actions. That brother didn't care. Martin Luther King either didn't care. He just wanted to have sex with white women. And then he realized, damn, he made a mistake. Well, this brother is going to realize, he's going to get a rude awakening that he made a mistake. Just like Martin Luther King. The point is, the nation is accountable for you being selfish in the wickedest way possible. And when I say the wickedest way, there's no sin above another. So it doesn't matter what you do. You're wicked, the whole nation could pay. You being righteously selfless, the whole nation benefited from it. Because why? You're a murderer right now. You can repent, be a new creature. You never was a murderer because Christ died for you. You understand? Christ told the whore, sin no more. Salakia. That's a shirt. Salakia. You know, but y'all get the point. The point is, you're not the only one who's going to be accountable for your actions. You understand? Let's keep reading. Joshua chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore, the children of Israel cannot stand before their enemies. Because that one man sinned, all the brothers started dying. They cannot stand before their enemies. We will not win the fight ever. Why? Because Achan stole something. We're going to see what he stole, what it is, right? Let me do this a bit real quick for time's sake. But turn their backs before their enemies because they were cursed. Neither will I be with you anymore. The Most High said, listen, the only thing that, listen, the Most High was with Joshua and his men because Joshua is a man of God and he followed the Most High. We didn't transgress the law. We didn't disobey the Most High. It took one man for God to say, you know what? Y'all got it from there. Because y'all can follow simple instructions. Y'all can follow a simple order. Don't sin. Some man saw something shiny and it looked nice to the eyes. He seen some Gucci shoes. And the Most High said, you know what? You're going to sacrifice, going to put the whole nation in jeopardy for some Gucci shoes? I'm just giving you a metaphor. He stole a garment. The point is, you're going to steal a t-shirt, put the whole nation in jeopardy for a t-shirt? Good night. You selfish bastard. Salaki. Neither will I be with you anymore, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. The Most High say, yeah, you need to get rid of the sin. You need to get rid of what? How did it say? Get rid of the bad apple. That's it. You need to get rid of the rotten apple in the basket. That's what the Most High is telling them. Right? So like if I'm going a bit fast, we're running short on time. It's supposed to be a short class anyways. Again, if anyone has any questions, regardless, still put them in the chat. Joshua chapter 7, verse 13. Up, sanctify the people and say, sanctify yourselves tomorrow. As you know what it is to be sanctified, is to be set apart. To render holy. Holy means set apart. For thus said the Lord God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. They're going to have a council because we need to figure out what's going on. Joshua is going to make his own investigation. The Most High sees everything. The Most High didn't tell him who did what. He said, listen, this is what's going on and this is why I'm not protecting you anymore or your men. Because someone wronged me. You're going to have to correct it. The only way you could wrong the Most High is by disobeying the commandments, by sinning. You understand? Verse 14. In the morning, therefore, you shall, in the morning, therefore, you shall be brought according to your tribes. And it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof. There, Joshua is making a thorough investigation, tribe by tribe. He's letting no stones unturned. And the family which the Lord shall take shall come by the households, and the household which the Lord shall take shall come man by man, one after the other. We're going to see who committed the sin, who transgressed against the Most High and cost all these brothers their life for a piece of clothing or a golden ring. You understand? We're being selfish. Joshua chapter 7, verse 15. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire. Yeah. So like he shall be put to death. It's Salakia, one. If you want to chime in, of course, chime in even though we're short on time. One. Salakia. He and all that he had, because he had transgressed the covenant of the Lord. Listen, he shall be dealt with. He literally shall be burnt with fire. He shall be put to death because he sinned against the Most High. And him being selfish cost the life of brothers because he was selfish in the wicked way, in the wickedest way. And because he had wrought folly in Israel. Joshua chapter 7, verse 16. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. Verse 17. And he brought the family of Judah and took the family of Zarites. And he brought the family of Zorhites, man by man, and Zabdi was taken. Now, if you remember, Zabdi, right, is the father of Carmi, who's the father of Akan. And he brought his household man by man. And Akan, if you remember verse 1, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, was taken. Verse 19, and Joshua said unto Akan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him. And tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. The Most High told the brother, you need to confess and come clean right now. Salakia, the Most High. Joshua told the brother that he needs to confess and come clean right now. Because men are dying for something as, good night, something as simple as stealing a chocolate bar. Verse 20, and Akan said, answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. So he's confessing his sin. He's telling what he done, right? Of course, he's feeling bad for it. The man is dying because of what? We're going to see what he done. Verse 21, when I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, man stole a jacket. Men started dying because Akan stole a jacket. Akan seen a $10,000 worth jacket. That's it. And 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. He stole some money. He stole a wallet. He stole a jacket. He stole a wallet. And he stole what? A band? Then I coveted them and took them. He was greedy. He was selfish. That's what he did. He seen a nice garment from Babylon, from a Babylonian, and he stole it. He took it from one of these, the man he was, they were killing. He seen what? He seen a man with 200 shekels of silver, a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. If you don't know, that's how, if you don't know how to calculate the worth of gold, right? He was just like, what's the brother's name? Was it Saul? Who didn't kill all the Amalekites? The point is, you disobey the Most High because you're being selfish. And this is a perfect example of wicked and how wicked selfishness can destroy the nation. The Most High had Joshua and his men's, he had them protected. He had them under his wing, under his shadow, as long as they followed the commandments. They didn't break the covenant. It took one man being selfish, stealing a jacket, a Babylonian jacket, and 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold for the nation to start dying off. And this is all you niggas today, right? The neighborhood is full of drugs. Of course, because the white man is the devil, but you're not fighting that lust. You're not fighting the love of money. You're not. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24 on down to what? 32, 34 said you either worshiping God or money. You can't do both. You understand? You can't. God's going to provide regardless. But you, because you're so selfish and you can't fight your demons, you will not seek counsel. You think you have the solution. What we just read last week, yeah? He thought he had the solution. Maybe this brother was broke. Maybe not. Maybe he just seen something that was shiny and he wanted it. The point is he was selfish and he fell for his own lust. Did we read that just last week? The Most High said what? He stole something and he put it among his own things. He thought he was smart about it. Romans chapter 1, verse 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Yeah, he was an idiot. thought he could hide it among his own things. He thought he could hide the garment among his garment. He thought he could hide the shekels and the gold among his shekels and his gold. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a dumb. He's dumb. He's a fool. He thought he was wise about it. He thought he was smart about it. He's not. Guess what? You're not either. You understand? You're not either. Let's go to verse 24. Salaki. Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. Yeah. God is not going to tie you up to a tree and prevent you from sinning. You have the whole blueprint. You know what to do. You know what not to do. Good night. What is it? The book of Judges. I'm paraphrasing, right? The reason why we're surrounded by heathens today is a test. If you would sin or not. Let's get that real quick, right? Let's see. God is testing us if we would remain selfish like this brother here, Achan, right? Let's go to Judges chapter 2, verse 20. You can finish the story of Joshua chapter 7 on down. The brother was put to death. He was burned, all his things, right? Why? Because he wanted a garment. He wanted some clothes. Listen, you want a garment? Do not be selfish. If you want a garment, don't be selfish like Achan in the book of Joshua. Call Officer Hazahab. Get you a Hazahab collection. You want a jacket like mine and be as fresh as the lightning of the Most High? Contact Officer 5000 Yatazar. It's that simple. You want some armbands looking as good as mine? Courtesy to Officer 500 Raban out of the UK. Just do that. Don't be stealing armbands and garments and jackets. You want some fringes? Contact this 1,000 brothers and sisters putting fringes on pants and jackets in the school. You don't have to steal a garment because you're a selfish bastard. Don't do that. You understand? Let's go in the book of Judges chapter 2 to show you that the Most High is just testing us if we're going to be wickedly selfish or not. Salakia. Because of example like this, literally. Judges chapter 2, verse 20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and said, that's after Joshua, because that this people had transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, because some brother was too selfish to not, to prevent himself. Like he cannot prevent himself from stealing a garment. He cannot contact Officer Hazahab for a garment, right? And he disobeyed the Most High. Verse 21, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations, which Joshua left when he died. The nation of Israel is supposed to be a holy people set apart, but you're going to see that we're keep on being surrounded by heathens till today. God is not driving out the heathens from around us anymore. This is a lesson learned from stealing a garment and some silver and some gold. Because you want to steal a wallet and a jacket that belongs to a stinky Babylonian. The Most High is not driving out the nations from us anymore. You understand? Verse 22, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein as their fathers did keep it or not. He's testing you now. Now that you're surrounded by Muslims. The Muslims are going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you, listen, you could have, they're going to give you a check to become Muslim. Are you going to be selfish and take that check and convert to Islam, bow down and kiss a rock? Are you going to be wickedly selfish and do that? Or are you going to be selfless and be like, you know what? I can't do that. Listen, it's not just about me. It's about my whole nation. Besides my whole nation, who could literally lose their life like they started doing in the book of Joshua, I'm influencing the next generation. If they see me become a Muslim, maybe it's going to influence them to become Muslims as well. And I'm going to cause them to sin. You know, now that you're surrounded, listen, in everything in America and Canada, there's pork and everything, and they know that we can't eat pork. Are you going to sin just because you want to eat pork? Are you going to smoke in front of the children because you don't care? You need, you know, to alleviate the stress, right? Don't be wickedly selfish. It could cost the life of the whole nation. You're going to smoke in front of all these children. They're looking at you like a role model. They're going to turn around and smoke all the crack in the world. You know, come to find out, you were just smoking cigarettes. But guess what? You were a drug addict regardless, and a sinner. And you caused them to sin. Why? Because you were selfish in your own lust. You thought you were smart by saying, well, weed cures cancer. Smoke causes cancer. And God is not going to cut your hands off so you stop smoking. You sound stupid. Again, Romans 1:22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. You don't have the solution. You don't have the solution. You don't have the knowledge. You know nothing, right? The truth is, outside the I.S.U.P.K, it doesn't matter how smart you are, but you're a sinner and you know nothing really. Why? What is knowledge? Right? Let's get that real quick. What is knowledge? What is wisdom? This is what you need to understand. Because you profess yourselves to be fool, to be wise, but y'all are fools. Y'all think y'all smart, y'all really stupid. Literally. You understand? Let's go to Job chapter 28, verse 28. Job chapter 28, verse 28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. You're not wise and you're not smart if you don't fear the Most High. That's it. You're not smart if you don't fear the Most High. It's that simple. Now, what is the only thing that you have to do? The Most High doesn't give a damn about your degrees. The Most High doesn't give a damn about, you know, your credentials when it comes to high school or university or whatever the case is. It doesn't care if you're smarter than Einstein. There's only one thing that matters. One and only thing that matters, right? And this is in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. We're going to end the class and read the security announcements. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. This is the only thing that literally matters. Fear God. If you're wise, you'd fear God. If you're as smart as you say you are, you would fear the Most High. Fear God and keep his commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's it. This is how you're righteously selfish and righteously selfless. You understand? Righteously selfless. Stop thinking that just because you're in the truth, there you go, you're saved. You don't need to give a damn about anybody else. You don't need to teach class. You don't need to go out to camp. You don't need to do the work of the Lord. You know, you got your Hebrew name, no sweat. You're going to be in a chariot whenever the bombs drop on your head. Right? This is not what being righteously selfless is. Christ died for us, literally. He could have done anything else. But listen, Christ didn't even have to go to the Romans knowing that he would die. He didn't. He died for us. Right? That's righteous selflessness. Want to be righteously selfish? Listen, be as racist as God. It's that simple. Listen. You understand? You don't have to lynch white people because we're not like them. We're not a violent people. We don't commit crimes, right? We're not wicked like the other nations are, but we only love our own. To each his own. What is it? Isaiah 13 and 14 and Ecclesiasticus 13, 14 to 15. We only love our own. As all the nations do. The Arabs, once Palestine started to get bombed, all the Arabs rallied together. You understand? When Ukraine, good night. I'm gonna just say they started a Soviet reunion, The Eastern Europeans start rallying together, even though they're the same people. The point is, every nation's love their own. As a matter of fact, let's get that one precept, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter, let's go into the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus chapter 13, and then we're going to end it right there. 13 verse 15, yeah? Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. Just like cats love cats, and birds of a feather flock together. It's self-explanatory right there. Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are one and same people. You understand? And they should only love each other. Verse 16 says what? All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. That means what? That means so-called African Americans, so-called Negroes in the Americas, pray for the Native Americans, pray for the Latinos, pray for the people in the Caribbean islands, and vice versa. Don't pray for Palestine. Listen, to each his own. Palestine is not praying for Haiti. Haitians don't pray for Palestine. It's that simple. That said, I'm preaching officer 500 Baraki Allah. You understand? This was part 2 of how to be or not to be, selfless or selfish. Me personally, I'm both. I care more about my people than myself, and I only care about my people and no one else. All right, we'll see you next week. We'll do the class on the Gentiles. Right? The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Let's clap it up.
Also, correct.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amounts you like. Upcoming holy convocation, we have the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah in the Hebrew, which is the 25th day of the 9th month. By the space of 8 days, which falls on December, is a Wednesday, December 25th, 2024, for 8 days. You can read more about it in the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. If you celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December, God hates you and your children. Reminder to Alakim and Aquakim to check the bulletin board in the hallway of the school if they have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. But that's to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Barakatham. Meaning Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn and face the sisters. If you have any in your presence, we'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan Bahashim Yahushai. Meaning Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahushai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Again, tune in to General Mahaiman's class. It should be live right now on 1 West online classes on YouTube. The water for Officer 5000 Madabar, always rocking out with us. Yes, it was a pleasure for having you here, sir.
Hey, wow, Shalom, Yahweh, Shimi Shrakta, Yahweh, Shema, Damba, Shimi, Yahweh.
Yahweh, Shrakta.
Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I believe. You wanna know where I come from? I don't pan the middle east, but y'all out the west one get the kid piece. Me take over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase. We no join both sides. One west are the best you fi know boy. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pine. Every bone a broke when left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street on a 4-5. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your job flesh or your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it boat wife. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. No give it the nanny, girl, do a bright. When we shoot the bumbo clad, you grind. That's where me come from. I don't pan the middle east, but y'all out the west one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10. Yeah, them too bad, I just smoke them off, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, their best no God. Do all fucking clip of your own that. No come set, no chop of your own bat. I go get sent off a run postal. Get a PO box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son, boy. We have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. How where we come from? I don't pan the middle east, but y'all out the west one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things